The company JMKMGL sent this 30-watt LED outdoor wall security light. That's a mouthful. This is typically going to be used as an outdoor security light, but for this case, I'm going to be installing it here in the workshop as a light over my workbench, so I can build projects and film with some nice bright light. So let's pull this out of the box and take a look. First thing I can tell you is that it's packaged well. It's got a really nice styrofoam case around it. So inside the box, you're going to get a gasket for the back of the light, instruction manual, a couple of wire nuts. They sent 2 packages, not sure why. And then the light itself, which is in foam and also wrapped in plastic. So there is the light itself. Now I'm going to have to use an Allen wrench here to open this up. Well, let's take a look at it real quick. Has some fins on the front for heat dissipation, and it's got the LEDs down here on the bottom with a nice reflective mirror. On the sides, you've got the place for the Allen wrench, because this light can rotate 90 degrees out. So if you want it to be straight down or rotated, you can do it with those screws there. On the back side is where we're going to access the panel. Now you notice that it does have a place for a conduit pipe on both the top and on the side, so you could technically mount this in either direction there. But I do believe it's intended to be with the light facing downward. To begin, let's go ahead and grab that Allen wrench and loosen up the sides a bit. Just a couple turns should be enough to get that loosened. And that will allow this piece to swivel out. Once this back plate is up in the 90-degree angle, take a Phillips head screwdriver and remove the 2 screws that are back here on the side. And once those are free, it'll allow this back case to flip up like this. And that's where we're going to be able to access the wiring. So you can see back here that it has the white, black, and ground. Everything else has been silicone protected here for waterproof, so it's waterproof. So the first thing we're going to have to do to get this wired is knock out some of these back here for the plate, for the junction box. I know that I'm going to have to knock out this long piece here and then this second one right here. To get to the knockouts, I have removed this back plate from the light by simply unscrewing the side screws. That step may not be necessary for you, but I wanted to do that to better isolate the plate here. Now, because I'm going to be knocking out some metal, I'm just going to put on some safety glasses here and use a hole punch to place onto that metal and then tap it pretty good here. Okay, and as you can see, there is the first knockout. Now I'm going to take this second piece down here and knock that out as well. Because I'm going to be using a junction box to attach the light, I also need to punch out the middle hole. If you're going to be using the conduit pipe, that step wouldn't be necessary. Now I'm going to be installing the light on an interior wall, but if you were installing this outside, you would definitely need to use the gasket. And just to demonstrate that, I'm going to go ahead and put it on so that you know what it looks like. But you'd have that hole punched out, the middle hole, and I'm actually going to use this top hole here. I had to remeasure, and that's the one that I need. So with those pulled out, I'm going to remove the backing here, this sticker. See if I can get the rest of these peeled off. I don't guess they matter. So I'm just going to take this, line it up here, and get that stuck on, just like that. And that will give a nice waterproof finish there so that no water will get to the wiring underneath. All right, let's head up the ladder and get this installed. Now it's time to get the light installed. I put a pigtail for ground in here to connect to the box. If you're using a plastic box, that's not necessary, but with a metal box, it is. So I'm going to get this attached here to my junction box with the screws that are provided here. Okay, nice and tight. Now it's time to take the provided wire nuts and get ground to ground, black to black, and white to white. So remember, on the ground it's going to have 3 wires coming in. I like to use some black electrical tape around my wires here to keep things in place. Now I'm going to fold the box back up here and use the screws that came on the side to get everything put back together. I've turned the breaker back on. Now it's time to see how bright this light is. Very nice. Now it's not quite done. I need to find the angle I want this to be in, such as right here, and then use an Allen wrench to tighten down those screws so it will stay in that angle. There we go. So that's how bright that light is. I like it a lot. Thank you so much for watching this video. The light was fairly easy to install. The only issues I had were I put the junction box too high close to the roof, and so I was unable to really get that angled up enough to get the screws in the back, but I managed. And the other tip that I've learned is to make sure you have enough wire pulled through the junction box so that when the light's just hanging loose, you don't have to hold and pull. So if the wire's long enough, you just hold it down and use your wire nuts, and it's no big deal at all. So that hinge system holds the light for you, so there's none of that awkward having to hold a light and twist a wire nut at the same time. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to check out this light, I have a link to it down below to the Amazon store. And as always, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.